Hello everyone, and welcome. I need to get through. And welcome to welcome. Sorry, audio listeners. I will be getting. I'll start this shortly, but you may need to check out the YouTube to be able to see what I'm seeing right now. Welcome to another random chat with Dade and Jude. I'm Dade.
I am Spider-Man.
So for listeners right now, Jude has a Spider-Man face on, which obviously is very entertaining to open the podcast. I'm not wearing something as good. I'm wearing a Marvel Comics t-shirt, and I'm wearing my Avengers baseball cap. Cars, what are we talking about today, Jude?
Today, Dave, we are talking about superheroes.
Pew, 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 pew. Isn't that weird? We both went pew, 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 pew.
That's because they're the moves from Thundercats.
Oh my God, do you remember Thundercats? Obviously, that's not... Well, they are superheroes, but just of a different galaxy in a different time.
This is it. I was thinking about this earlier, and I was thinking about superheroes, and I was like, one of my very first superheroes, which was probably back in the 80s, was Chitara. I think that's how you pronounce the name.
It was.
And she was, yeah, and she was like, but this was before I was more familiar with more female superhero roles, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But yes, I remember thinking, she's so awesome. She was like supersonic fast, and she just had these cool things that she did, and she was just gorgeous.
Did she have that like metal golden rod as well?
She did, yeah. Wow. And I think she could.
And that I always thought, oh my God, that's so cool.
Right, and she looked sexy.
Very.
She looked sexy for like a kid's
young gay boy. I was like, work.
Yeah, well, for straight women, I was like, well, gotta appreciate beauty, Dade.
True. But that's actually like, they're not natural superheroes you automatically go to when you think superheroes, right? But they were always saving something. Like He-Man. Like when let's go like growing up, like where were your first interest? Like He-Man for me was one of the superheroes. G.I. Joe.
Yep. I don't remember G.I. Joe, but I remember She-Ra, which was a spin-off of the
and the Power. No, She-Ra and that was He-Man. It was the He-Man and the Power of Grayskull.
That's right.
But then She-Ra had a motto as well. Always had lovely flowing. Did you see the remake of She-Ra on Netflix?
No.
Watch it, dude. Watch it.
So good. Is it?
So good.
Is it animation?
Animation, binge-worthy. So I honestly, that's such a good. Yeah, honestly, go and watch it. So go and watch it.
I mean, we're showing our age here, aren't we? Because this was.
Oh no, I'm going to bring this up. Up to now, insane. Listeners or viewers, or if you've not watched the new X-Men '97 animation that is bringing back the old original season now, if you have not watched that, you need to go and watch that because you will be very happy with what you watch. It's amazing.
Because this is your area.
This is like. Look, I have lots of merch on. Like Jude may have had a mask on. I've got like t-shirts, hats. Too many things in my house are actually Marvel themed.
Just love it, don't you?
I do, but I'm still single, so I just have to keep it like.
Yeah, hide it to one side.
Hide it to one side. Maybe. But I think like also going back, and I don't care about how old we are and things like that. But like if I go back as well, do you remember Batman? Like the old school, and they used to like go, and they'd go pow.
Yeah.
Like do those kind of pop art kind of superhero things.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Then I think the next ones that came about was Linda Carter as Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Like iconic.
I feel like it was almost like there was a lot of male versions of superheroes.
Yeah.
And then as time has evolved and, you know, rights and equality has evolved, then a lot more females came. But my memory, having an older brother, was very much, like you said, that kind of pop art, kapow, Batman and Robin. And obviously the cartoons that we just talked about prior to that. But I remember more of the male roles, like the Spider-Mans came out. and then lots of variations of the Batmans came out. And then Wonder Woman, I know that they were all kind of centered from comics originally, and
Yes.
then movies made at a later date. But I do feel like a lot of the more female superheroes did come a lot later. Would I be
100%.
accurate there? Because you're the
No,
man.
100%. Actually, the one thing I will say, being like, because I'm also into, well, superheroes. I read comics. I love this kind of genre, and I love being immersed into it and things like that. Actually in the comics, they were very forward thinking. Like there was diversity in their comics and their storytelling and things like that. And it was, I feel sometimes it was just the way that the writers were trying to introduce such things to their readers, because they weren't, everything else as being white men just running the place, basically.
I think you're absolutely right, because that the Harley Quinn and the Poison Ivy,
Yeah.
they were two characters from Batman, and they actually had a relationship.
Yeah.
And that was, I don't know when that was, but obviously there's been many versions of Harley Quinn, many versions of Poison Ivy, but when they were actually depicted in the comic as having this relationship, it's pretty powerful stuff.
100%.
And I would have known how long ago that was, because I think it definitely wasn't in the 2000s.
No. It was way before. And
Right.
once again, look at now. Like people are having like books taken out of schools because they depict such things. But that's why, like back then, they were telling a different narrative, and nobody was like worried about it. But apparently now.
Because it wasn't so mainstream, do you think it was because comics was kind of really for a niche market? Or because I always remember reading the comic strips in the newspapers when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know, that was one of the things that we wanted to do. But then I guess this was much more of a bigger thing. It was like somebody that actually wanted to buy the comic for this particular animation or these particular stories. So maybe it was more of a niche market, and they were pressing, like you said, pushing boundaries just to see what they could get away with at that particular point in time.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I've always felt throughout, well, if you think around some of their characters, they all have different characters. They even demonstrate bad characters, but they always show the full person behind it. It's just fascinating what they do.
It is, yeah.
But yes, okay. Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, amazing.
Yes.
Also, I remember watching a lot of the Superman heroes when I was like growing up.
Now educate me. Superman heroes. I know Superman.
No, Superman as a hero. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Superman as a hero. I mean, yes.
Yeah, like
God,
was it Christopher Reeves? Like just the people who played him early on, and now how it's progressed. Obviously, we need to mention Henry Cavill here. Like he's very hot Superman.
You're name dropping now. I'm ashamed to admit I don't know who that person is, but
I will send you a picture later, Jude, and you will.
One that you've got on your wall by your bed.
But look, I think so, and look, I love throughout the time. Like obviously, there's been a lot of different movies. You've got kids. Do your boys love superhero movies?
They never were really into. They've started as they've got a bit older to get into the kind of the X-Men, and they like that kind of action now, because it's obviously progressed so much more so. So with all the new animations and all the cool stuff that you can do in a movie situation, they love all of that. But really, when they were younger, it used to be, I bought them when they were like little, these little kind of like all these different outfits. I used to buy them just the eye masks and the capes. So when my boys, who are quite close in age, like just imagine the scenes between the ages of 3 and 8, just sporadically would don the eye mask, get the cape on, and all they would have on was their little boy pants, underpants, and they would just run around the house chasing it.
But look at the imagination it creates, right? And that's what I love about superheroes, because it creates what's the possibility? And there is maybe these other kind of, whether you call them mutants, or like, we can't just assume like we are who we are, and our superpower, I still think, is compassion and kindness in this world. I still believe that, but there are other populations out there that may have different abilities, and I do think that there could be a possibility that obviously does exist. But I love that.
Absolutely,
it really helps like people, young kids, kind of be creative and like think that they're superhuman and thinking they're superheroes.
Well, of course. I mean, how many times do you see those little children like running around going, and then they'll do some kind of like kung fu karate chop or whatnot. It does give them like, it gives them an exterior to become something, like you said, that may not be so familiar to them. So through the art of like being this strong, powerful character, when maybe they're quite meek and timid on the inside, they can just get that part of them out.
Yeah. So do you know what, actually, because you just remind me of like Brie Larson, who plays Captain Marvel in Captain Marvel. Oh, the Marvel's recent one. As that's one of the things she loves about, like, she's, because everyone's like, why did you take on playing a superhero? She's like, I get to inspire a new generation of girls. Not only can they be tough and strong, but also they can be caring. And it's like, and she's like, I've never felt so prouder than she went to a Paris Disney event, and there was loads of girls there, and they're all dressed to her, and she's like, I just felt so proud that I'm inspiring a generation, like, of little girls who think they can be. And that's the thing, right? You just go, we talk about superheroes, and there's obviously lots of superhero movies now and lots of things happening, but also what it does and how it inspires, right?
Absolutely. And I think if you think about from when we were children to where we are now, how far that has actually moved on.
Exactly.
Because, you know, even superheroes would be depicted as this kind of feminist kind of physique. They'd all be slim, you know, they'd be like attractive with long flowing locks. And now it is so much more about like girl empowerment. We can take on the world. We don't need to have like this man. They've completely broken down those conventional stereotypes.
That's the thing. And they were doing it a long time ago. And it's like, that's why I love the comic book, because there's so much story there that people can be told in very different forms.
Yeah, I mean, I would never have known the story behind Harley Quinn had I have not seen the movie. I never knew, even though the movie sort of goes into it, but like just on the outskirts of just not understanding that that was a character in Batman.
Yeah.
Because Batman was the main character, so that was where the focus
and attention. How they built this whole interconnected universe. It's just very.
And there's more that keeps popping up. And I think with the development of like cinematography and all of those kind of aspects that make a movie so like, and like IMAX, like the 3D glasses as well. So you can be watching all of this. I mean, all of that elevates these certain particular genres of movie, don't they? Because you're really feeling it. You're really in it. And it's completely different. It's not normal. We don't walk down the street and see all these superheroes dressed in all these costumes. There are superheroes that walk amongst us, but they're not dressed as, you know, Spider-Man or Batman or whoever it may be.
But if they did happen, Jude, and you did see them wander down the high street, how would you react?
If I did see them...
If you did see a superhero suddenly land...
Well, I mean, I've walked down Hollywood Boulevard a few times, darling, and I've been quite surprised at what I've seen there, so...
So not very surprised.
I would like to see more female superheroes walking around there, though, to be honest with you.
True.
Where are the girls?
Yeah, actually, that's very true on Hollywood Boulevard.
Right.
There's always, yes.
It's always the boys who, by the way, look...
Oh, they look great. They look very...
Especially Spider-Man, whoever he is. He's got some muscles in all the right places.
Yeah, I recently went to California Adventure, and I met Captain America... Black Widow was there, so Black Widow was represented. Spider-Man was there, but they're all like in physically fit shape, and you're like, yes, you should wear that tight leather.
Where's Catwoman in all of her, like, you know, tight black?
Let's talk about Catwoman. Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Come on,
wasn't she just the best?
Like, come on. Like, look, I will give nods to Halle Berry because she looked hot.
Yes, yes.
Actually, she was Anne Hathaway when she played Catwoman.
Yeah,
like they've all done.
Yeah, she was brilliant. Anne Hathaway is one of those kind of amazing like actresses, though, that she can just literally
love her.
Anything. I love her so much.
Like, yeah. Hey, Anne, if you're listening. Question for you, Jude. So, obviously, we've spoken about if superheroes arrived. What happens if you became a superhero, and what power would you want?
Well, Dade, newsflash: I am a superhero.
You're a mum, so you definitely are.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So kudos to all those mums out there and dads. But and yes, we are heroes.
Yeah. But I get it. Yeah, no, yes, you are. And look, I do think everybody has a superhero power, but you just all different things. But if you think about like abilities, like mutants or things like that, what would it be?
God, that's a really good question. Well, I've always wanted to fly.
Okay, so your superhero would fly, because you can have more than one power.
Yeah, she's gonna have a lot of powers.
Yeah.
I'd like to be a mind reader to understand
Would you
other people.
but would you be able to turn it on and off so you're not always listening to people?
Yeah, I could literally just flick a switch that would be on the side of my head, and I'd be able to see right through that person and understand whether they're trying to trick me or not.
Maybe not a
to win that.
switch on the side of your head. Maybe just tap it or something.
Yeah, or maybe like with all these new like technology things, I could like pull my earring in my earlobe, and that would like trigger something, and then I'd be able to like.
Do you think that would make you?
What would you think?
Do you think that make you a lot of friends, Jude?
I'm a superhero. I'm here to save the world.
Good,
I've got to do what I've got to do.
So you'd use your super hearing or super memory reading for good.
This is it, yeah. Because I'm in my head right now, I'm an actual superhero. So I'm actually imagining myself in one of those cool outfits and all these cool things that I can do.
What would your outfit look like, dude?
Oh.
Would it be a bodysuit or would it be a two-piece? Like, what would it be?
No, it's an all-in-one red leather zip up. And then I've got this hood that if I need to be invisible, I can put it over me and then I'm headless.
Why just headless? Wouldn't that scare someone?
Because if I was looking, you wouldn't see my body, you wouldn't see my head, and I'd be like spying on you, and you wouldn't even know. I'm sneaky. I think I'd be a sneaky superhero.
Okay, so whilst I'm telling you mine, have a think of what your superhero name would be then.
Okay.
I would definitely want to teleport. Like, I just think, one, for convenience, to be able to just go LAX or London.
Yes.
Or like to be able to just go boom and you're gone. And you can take
that's
others
a great
with you.
superpower. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We can go, hey Jude, Italy, boom, and we're there. Like,
oh my God.
But
God, that would just be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so it's just that I've thought about this, Jude.
You have, because you asked the question, so you put me on the spot. But just as you're saying that, another superpower that I would have, just that goes alongside that, is the pause moment. You can pause time when you're having the best time and you don't want it to end. Because I've been in that situation so many times, and I just wish I had.
But when you press pause, though, would everything freeze? What do you mean?
Time would freeze for that moment.
Okay, so that's because if you've ever watched Charmed as a TV show, like I don't know whether you've watched Charmed, like it's one of my favorite with Shannon no longer with us, but Charmed, the three girls loved it. She used to be able to just freeze things, either time, objects, and movement, and things like that. So
that's a pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to steal that one. I want that one too. Back to you. Sorry.
I'd want teleportation, right? I have thought sometimes maybe I'd want to be able to walk like through walls.
Oh.
Yeah, like just to go like. Just go and look at places and be nosy, basically.
You just want to go, yeah, but then maybe you could have like, you could actually like go into people. So you mean like go into people's houses and just have a little spy around when they're not looking?
Yeah. Or hey, say I needed to go and like do a rescue mission, I could just like go into like the British Museum with nobody knowing that I was there. So.
Yeah, it's like The Incredibles, isn't it? Like the Elastic
I love The Incredibles.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What would
no.
Your own be?
Good question. I'd say I wanted to play on the word like teleporter. The teleporter. No, it's not as exciting. Now I'll come back to you. We'll come back at the end of a kind of podcast. For you, you'd be like multi-power girl or something, I'm assuming.
I think I'm gonna be I think I'd be like fire starter.
Do you have fire power now as well?
No, but I would be wearing red.
True. True.
And I can start lots of different things that I haven't yet thought through. So I feel like something to do with that kind of like because I am a bit fun.
Powerful.
Yeah, strong.
Yeah. Have you watched The Boys, the TV show The Boys?
Yeah. Very good.
That just takes superheroes to a very different
It does indeed.
Well, look, that's been our chat on superheroes, our random chat with superheroes. We'll come back to you with my name because you did put me on the spot, and I didn't think that.
I did, and I'm sorry.
No,
maybe you could be Terry.
Terry.
Terry teleport.
No, it's just going to be called Terry.
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 Terry the teleport.
Terry the teleporter. Man up, Jude. Come on, Jesus.
And on that note, this has been another random chat with Dade and Jude. I'm Dade.
And I'm Spider-Man.
Thank you, viewers. We will chat to you again soon. Bye.